Hello, colleagues. We are happy to start our case study, how UI UX impact Q-commerce business. Today, we are with my partner, Fatih. So I will introduce myself and Fatih will introduce himself. So I have more than 20 years already experience in software implementation. And from 2015, our company, Rastec, is focused on e-commerce, retail, and logistics. And also we have an additional brand, which is called Evermall. So it's a marketplace for shopping malls. And we are Odoo official partner, in particular in Saudi Arabia. And as well, we are not doing only Odoo implementations. We are developing websites, applications, and working with AI. And Fatih, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, and so I'm Fatih Yörük. I have like 10 plus years of experience in e-commerce, both in Turkey as well as in Qatar. In Qatar specifically, I worked as the Q-commerce manager of Snoonu, where we launched the Q-commerce vertical Snoomart in Qatar itself, as well as I implemented many omni-channel e-commerce fulfillment projects in Turkey especially. And currently I have a consultancy company and we are developing a marketplace for artworks as well as software and software implementations with Grigory, of course. That's about it.
Yeah, okay, so a few words about us. And now I will show you some statistics which we took officially for MENA region. So it's showing that the growth from 2018 and the forecast for 2024 for Q-commerce in billions of dollars, so it's market size. So it's grown for 5 times, from 4 billions to 20. And it's interesting that the main growth is happening from 2020, which is quite clear. It's related to COVID, but it still continued to grow.
Yeah, like especially if we see the growth between 2019 to 2020, there's almost 100% growth, and like mostly it's due to the restrictions with COVID itself, like you mentioned.
Yeah, but what is interesting as well is that in Europe, for instance, or in the world, we can say even that now. After the rapid growth, there is some decrease. So for instance, Gorillas was one of the most promising players in 2021, and they were acquired by Getir in 2022. But now Getir is exiting from France, from Spain, and from Portugal this year, and most probably will continue to exit some countries. As well as
I believe there is Netherlands, they're exiting Netherlands as well, as per the discussions happening online. So they're exiting from many countries actually, since they rapidly expanded all over Europe, but their exit is shocking actually.
Yeah, and the same for some UK-based company called Jiffy and Yango Deli, which were open in London, in Paris, and other countries. Now they're focusing mostly in CIS countries where they're still keeping growing. And as well, majority of American e-commerce companies are exiting. So we will talk what could cause this, because one of the reasons is that, for instance, European government took some stringent regulations. So it's more difficult for these businesses to work. In MENA region, it didn't happen yet, as we know, but it could happen soon.
I mean, in terms of restrictions, of course, the health and safety regulations are controlled, even in the dark stores. Even if it's not a brick and mortar store, the municipality comes and checks each dark store warehouse if all the health and safety guidelines are met or not. So these kind of regulations are already happening, of course, but it's not as harsh as it seems in Europe, let's say, since like Getir specifically is having a hard time operating in that land, right?
Yeah. So we also know that 60% of the companies, according to Crunchbase data, 60% of those who got investments in 2020 and 2021, they already are closing.
So one of the companies I can mention here is like from Pakistan, there was a company called Airlift, which was a Q-commerce startup as well. Last year they shut down. So, I mean, it's a difficult competitive environment for the sector. So, of course, it's getting increasingly difficult for the companies that are competing in this sector.
Yeah, but what we see that some companies still exist and still are developing. So not all companies are closing. And in general, the Q-commerce market is not decreasing. So people are used already to work with such delivery companies, to order online. And one of the most important strategies now is to improve customer experience. Because actually UI and UX design, this what could be different from company to company, and this what really help to provide a seamless and personalized shopping experience. So actually the customers can choose between 3, 4, 10 maybe applications, and they will not use all of them. They will use only one, maybe maximum 2. So again, some numbers here. So according to some research from Forrester, the UX design, proper UX design, can raise conversion by 200%. It's very important point here, conversion rate.
So in my experience in Snuno, we had a UI UX researchers and product managers specifically for the UI UX design itself to improve the customer journey of the Snuno app, Snumart, the Q-commerce vertical itself. So we did a lot of A/B testing, trial and error, to figure out which customer journey increase the conversion rate of the customers, right? When we say conversion rate, that means from the customer entering the app to going to the checkout page and basically processing the payment itself, right? So we did many testings there to raise and there are certain aspects of all applications that are focused on increasing the conversion rate, right? And of course, if the UI UX design has a detrimental flaw, it will of course decrease the conversion rate orders, eventually losing the customer from the platform itself.
Yeah. So 75% of the consumers, they say that their credibility is based on the quality of website design or mobile app design. So this design has a really major impact on how the user will use the whole service. And almost 90% of consumers, they will go to a competitor after a poor user experience and probably will never return. So
it's very hard to regain a customer actually, since there are so many competitors on the platform. So in this next section, we have 8 applications, especially from the region, where we're going to showcase their general UI interface and comment on their structures and what can be done to improve it better. So here, to give a bit of backlog or like basic information about Carrefour, it's a brick and mortar store, and they have recently, after especially COVID, they launched their own application where they listed 25,000 SKUs, right? And they don't promise, of course, 15-minute, 30-minute delivery, but they usually deliver within an hour. So in terms of application, it's on a slower side in terms of Q-commerce experience. But in terms of basic customer experience, actually, we can see if you continue the video, they have a basic interface where all the main categories are listed. They have many filters actually, where you can filter the subcategories, brands, origin of the country, which is especially important in a country such as Qatar, where everything is imported, right? So customers are able to decide which products they want from which country, so where they can filter the customer products, as well as they have a certain, I mean, maybe it's hard to catch there, but they have a certain feature called scan and go, where when you go to the brick and mortar store, you can basically scan the items you want and they deliver to your home later. I believe, Gregor, you guys have like in the applications you have designed, you have a similar
yeah, we have the similar functionality
where you can search, right?
Yeah, I will just show it here. So yeah, actually the scan and go functionality helps helps the customer. Here we can see it on the screen as well as here, scan and go. Yeah, so it's two ways how to use it. First way is to scan when you are sitting at home some products which are finishing. For instance, they're in your fridge and you want to buy the similar product, so you just scan the barcode and automatically it goes to your cart. So you don't need to search anything to type and so on. Second option is when you are in an offline store and you can just take the goods from the shelves and just scan them by the application and pay by the application. You don't need to go to the queue, don't need to go to the cash desk. It's working. Of course, there are some risks that people can steal something, but again, it's a question how the business would like to work with that. Technically, it's no problem because it's the same as the customer is buying online. Or the third option also could be is that he's scanning what he liked in the store, but he doesn't buy it immediately. He requests a delivery. For instance, it's for women, it's very important not to have heavy bags or something like that. Yeah, so they can choose everything what they like and then just request the delivery and it will be delivered to their home at the exact time when they need it.
And okay. The other, I mean, maybe we can see from the video itself, the other, I mean, maybe it's a flaw, maybe it's not, but for me, it's a negative aspect where when the customers are entering a main category, like they're having a hard time reaching or searching the subcategory of the item, which makes the customer use the search function a lot, where you want the customer to have a natural customer journey scrolling around all the products, all the categories they want, right? But a good feature, I can say, they have the brand filter, which most of the Q-commerce applications I saw didn't have. And they have the sort option where they can basically sort the products to cheapest to most expensive, or most expensive to cheapest, right? And they have the generic, as far as we can see, they have the generic NCR banners where stores like Carrefour generate additional revenue from suppliers, etc. as well. So, I mean, that's all I can say about like what I see in the Carrefour application, actually. Okay, so the most familiar one I have, which I have a familiarity at least of 4 years. So Snoo is a marketplace. They have groceries and restaurants and many other shops. So Snoo Mart is listed as one of the vendors in the platform itself, which is not a great thing, of course, right? It's better for a Q-commerce vertical to be listed on the main page, easily accessible when you want to promote it, right? So here we see the custom banners, the discount items. They have a recipe section where customers can easily go to the recipes option and add the specific products they want for that recipe, whatever they're missing. And of course, if we continue, you see the promotions and the main categories itself. And of course, Snoo Mart has around 30 main categories and around 5,000 SKUs, at least until I was there. So in the dairy, when you enter the dairy and eggs, you are able to see all the subcategories and easily identify what you want specifically. So here they show the deli, all the deli items are together. And here they're showing the recipe section where basically it's mentioned as a special category, I believe. So it's created a special backend category, not a main category where the category managers are listing against that specific recipe itself. So I think this is a pretty classic structure. They have the NCR banners where the category managers usually make deals with the vendors to generate additional revenue for the company itself. Basically, it's advertisement for the suppliers or the brands that are listed on Snowmart. And they have a specific section where they can promote specific SKUs, not like a category, not a brand, but they can individually promote like a specific SKU when they want to push that specific SKU more to the customers.
I would like to stop here, maybe just to add that it's very important that personalized content for the customer. We are using AI to analyze the customer's behavior, how often opens the app, at what time, what he's searching, how he reacts on pop-up, on push messages, and so on, what he's usually buying. So it is all analyzed by AI, and AI is doing the segmentation. Based on the segmentation, the different content can be shown and the different personalized communication can be done. Example, for instance, if somebody is buying something for children, so most probably they should see something new, maybe for children, or something what is bought from the same segment by other people. So first of all, because the conversion rate will be high for that product. And so on. There could be many examples. And also people who, for instance, prefer discounts, or some people prefer to buy some special products, for instance. So they will get the promo for the SKU, especially for them, which again helps to increase LTV in general, because people will buy more frequent and will stay longer with this application because the communication is relevant. So this is, as I know, also used in Snunu, and we have that technology in our applications, which we propose to our clients.
The only thing I don't see here is basically the filters. Like you have no way to filter a specific list of products, right? You cannot filter it by brand, you cannot filter it by price, or you cannot sort it basically, right? So that's, I think, one of the flaws or the minus points, let's say, we can give. But other than that, I think the Q-commerce vertical not being displayed, just being displayed as one of the groceries is not great as well. I think when you have a Q-commerce, a quick commerce experience, you should be able to promote it more in front.
Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Oh, so Talabat, I think like everybody in the region would know, one of the biggest companies in GCC in terms of food and grocery delivery. They have their own Q-commerce vertical called Talabat Mart, which I think they launched 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. They have the basic promotion category banners, promotions, main category structure. And what I see is they have many banner sections where they can promote a lot of different brands or discounts, right? So this is the third one, I think, or third or fourth brand banner section, as we can see. I'm pretty sure they're generating a good amount of NCRs from these banners. So they have a classic structure. If we see like 10 seconds ago, a classic structure to basically push customers to reach a certain basket value, which they mentioned if you reach 150 real basket value, I think there's free delivery or something, which is a good way to impulse customers to have at least a certain amount of basket value. They have the main category structure, but like compared to the other videos we saw, I think there's roughly 40 categories there, which is a lot more than expected, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about only 2 products in a row?
I mean, I think it consumes too much space, in my opinion. As a customer, I would want to see more products, but that's only my opinion, right? What do you think about that?
I also think that more often it's better to use more than two, products in a row. Of course, it depends on the phone itself or mobile device which is used, so it can be adopted automatically. But for the customer, it's better, yeah, to see more products on one screen and less scrolling.
Yeah, so I think here when you have 2, you have to scroll a lot, which I think nobody likes, and that's one of the things. I didn't see any filters as well, but of course, all of them have a search function. If the customer is looking for something very specific, they can always search it and find it even without the filters, right?
By the way, yeah, if you're talking about the search, we are using Smart Search. It's doesn't depend on the mistakes and these things. We're using technology called Elasticsearch, and now we are also testing the AI similar to ChatGPT. Actually, it's the same AI, which understands the human way of communication. So in this case, you can tell to the application, I would like to make a party at home. I would like to make some pizza or whatever, some maybe burger, whatever I would like. Give me the recipe, give me all the ingredients, or give me some list of what should be bought for the party. And what we did already, it's working, that the AI understands the request. It could be even by voice, shouldn't be typed, and can identify what products should be put to the cart or proposed to the customer. It's still in some beta testing, let's say, but we are using it already in some pilot projects. It's a killing feature, I guess, for the online experience for future, because this will change the way of searching. It will be much more easier. Just talk with your app, and it will propose you what you need. So this future is coming already. So we know that it's working. Of course, it's a bit different for different languages. For instance, it's better for English, but worse for some other languages. But it's developing very quickly, and there is a huge community in the world which supports such AI solutions. Okay,
Definitely.
so sorry, Fatih.
Definitely, it's exciting to see what the future holds in terms of AI and customer UI UX experience.
Yeah, let's go to the next case.
So Noon, I think Noon is a pretty big company as well in the GCC. They operate in 3 countries. It's widely used especially in UAE, right? It's a marketplace. Again, they have their own Q-commerce vertical called 15 Minutes. Yeah, so where they deliver all their groceries in 15 minutes, basically. So it's like an Amazon style store, actually, but they have their like food and grocery and 15 minutes, which the Q-commerce vertical they have. And as far as we can see, they have a pretty classic structure in terms of the banners. They're promoting free delivery over a certain amount of basket size. They have an interesting main category display section, actually, where you swipe around to see all the categories. That's one of the first from the previous 4 we checked, or previous 3 we checked. And I think in terms of structure, they kind of promote almost all the main categories in a slider view, which is different as well compared to the other competitors. And what's interesting is like Noon 15 Minutes have more, like they promote it as they have more than 5,000 SKUs per store, and they even deliver mobile devices, which you don't regularly see in a Q-commerce vertical, which is interesting, I think.
Yeah. So
again, we have the two product view listing, which is, I mean, not ideal, I think, but as Barbie is popular as well, you can see they have a Barbie banner in their platform. They are on the same train as well.
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, say continue.
Yeah, so I think uh, I think they're pretty generic, right? I didn't see the filter again, like I didn't see any filter structure, but I'm sure they have since they're a big marketplace in the region. But everything else, I mean, their design especially looks different than the others. What do you think about that, Gregory? Like they have a main category slider, and when you enter a main category, you have a main category slider plus subcategory slider. It creates a table basically, it feels like.
Yeah, like a matrix. Well, I think yeah, this should be tested according to our experience. If there are too many subcategories, people can be also lost in that, and especially if you have many SKU, and the search or this listing can take a lot of time. It's not good for grocery, because if you want to get something in 15 minutes, you should spend not half an hour, let's say, much less for ordering, because then it has no sense. So you should spend maybe 5 minutes, 3 minutes. It should be very easy. So I think that for Q-commerce, it's better to have less SKU, maybe up to 5,000. Ideally, it's usually between 3 and 4,500 SKU, but again, it depends on the market. And less categories, so the customer should not be lost. But again, it's better to use category and subcategory, because these two levels of categories are the most user-friendly, let's say, for people. More subcategories is not good, and too many buttons on the screen is also not good, because we know that if people cannot tap by the finger easily on some button, and they miss, maybe they can press another button, it's not good. So you should always keep that proportion of the buttons on the screen. Okay,
Next
let's
one.
move forward. Yeah, Hungerstation.
Yeah, so Hungerstation, I think, yeah, they're known in the region as well. Recently, their shares were purchased more by Delivery Hero itself. They have their quick market, which is their Q-commerce vertical as well. What difference I see, they have a minimum order value section where they force customers to at least add a certain amount to their basket before even making the order.
Yeah, 32
32 Riyal or yeah, Saudi Riyal. So they have the pretty generic main NCR banner structure, main category structure. I think the images are loading a little bit slow, but maybe it could be because of my device.
But comparing to others, they are really slower. So you use the same device, the same internet, so we can see the difference.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit more time, but they have this classic structure of main category, subcategory, and you are able to basically identify everything pretty easily as far as I see. And they have the 3 product layout, which I like personally, which is good. What I see is they have a pretty interesting promotion structure as well, where you can buy 2, get 1. In the back end, I wonder how they're managing it, because especially in the inventory management system structure, is very important to be able to accurately pick these orders with the buy 2, get 1 or specific different promotions. At least I think your system also provides this kind of promotions where everything is tracked accurately, right, Gregory?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's one of the main features, actually, what you need. And then Yeah, the important thing here is to analyze all the data, how the customer is pressing what, how he reacts on all the promos and everything what application shows. Okay, so let's move a bit forward. We have few more.
Yeah, we have Deliveroo. I mean, Deliveroo is one of the biggest ones across the world, right? They're a UK-based company, I believe. They have their own Q-commerce vertical. This is from the Dubai perspective, right? They have their Deliveroo hub where they deliver it like under 30 minutes, let's say, right? Their structure is a little bit different from the others, right? They have a lot of categories, and the category spaces consume a lot of space in the phone itself and the background. And they're not individually promoting any SKU, which is interesting, right? They have the generic sorting filters, cheap to expensive, I suppose. They have the main category structure, main category slider, where the customers have to basically slide the main category to be able to identify which product they want, which is, I think, on a slower side of in terms of customer journey. I think it's a little bit harder.
Yeah. Also interesting that some of the companies have rating for the products and some not. For instance, Deliveroo, they have the rating, which shows like 4.5 or 5 stars, for instance. And I guess it could be sorted by the rating as well. So it's, I think they're promoting by these ratings.
Yeah, they say they deliver within 15 minutes, but of course it depends on the location you select. So I guess they don't have many dark stores to be able to accommodate 15-minute delivery across UAE itself or Dubai itself. So, I mean, I think if they individually promote some SKUs, it would be easier for the customer to add like the most used, most added items to their basket, which could be good. And if they individually, like, they don't have any promotions that attracts the customers when you enter the app itself, right? Compared to the other views, other applications we check, this is the most clear, basic, nothing shiny going on in the app itself, right? So that's interesting, to be honest. I think there is like improvements that can be made for like a company like Deliveroo.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's move to.
So Baladi Express is a very new company in terms of marketplace food and grocery delivery applications. They just recently launched in Qatar. They were previously operating as a brick and mortar store. They have grocery stores across Qatar, and they recently entered the food and grocery delivery application side of things, where they have restaurants as well as their own grocery, which is Baladi Express Mart, where they say they provide 50,000 SKUs across Qatar itself. And as far as I see, like in the main category, they have like 20 main categories. And when you enter a main category, you are able to see all the subcategories, etc. But like to be able to accommodate 50,000 SKUs in the application and the customer to not be lost is very hard, to be honest. Very hard, I think.
Yeah,
so you have a generic
no
main category
comment.
slider. I don't really like it, but it's fine, I suppose. They have a subcategory structure where there's a lot of subcategories, a lot of main categories. It's hard to identify where to go, to be honest, from my perspective. But of course, they have the sort by. They can sort products A to Z and price it cheapest to most expensive, as well as latest products. If they have any new products, I guess they show, you can search that. I'm not sure if it really helps or not.
Yeah, at least you never saw that in any other applications that you can search, filter by the new products, new added products.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like, yeah, the product structure is interesting as well. Like normally what we saw is either they have like 2 lines of products or 3 lines of products. And this one, there's only 1 line of product and you have 50,000 SKUs. So, and in each scroll, you can see up to, I think, three products. So I think we have to analyze to scroll all the 50,000 SKUs, how many scrolls do we need? Because you only show 4 products and you have 50,000 SKUs. I think they have to change something major in terms of how they display their products. I feel like they even display the SKUs, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's yeah, let's say the most different from others. Yeah, as we can see, and from number of SKU and from the interface. But that's okay. Let's keep going, and we have, I guess, the last one.
So the last one is Rafiq. I think they have been operating for the past 4 or 5 years in Qatar. They're a food and grocery delivery company. They have their own grocery called Rafiq Mart, which is a convenience store concept. And we see the classic Top Savers SKU promotion, as well as their categories, which they display 2 line of products and subcategories for each main category, which is interesting. When you enter a main category, you're unable to reach another main category from that when you open that specific category, which makes the customer enter and go back, enter and go back, enter and go back to be able to add something to their item. I wonder how long does it take for the customers to complete the checkout? Like how many seconds, how many minutes does it take? And the pictures are loading very slow for some reason as well.
Yeah, that we can see that some of the applications are really slow, which is not good, especially if
Do you have any suggestions or do you have any identifications why would the image display would take a long time? Do you think it's related to their server load or?
Yeah, it depends on the backend of the application and as well on the images themselves, so that how heavy they are from one side. But first of all, it's the speed of the backend, because we see that speed of the internet is not really influencing. Yeah, they should do something with the backend to make it quicker. But we know many cases in the world when the backend architecture is not, fully suitable for Q-commerce, for many requests, for many products when people are searching and so on. So it can hang a bit or require a lot of server power. So we optimize it by some internal operations, because it's more like technical things, how to operate with the database and so on. So we try to make it quick in our case. So let's move to our case now, because it's one of the key, key features, or what is the most important for the customer, how quickly they can see the picture, because people are looking on the pictures, not waiting them, they don't like to do it and so on. So actually, few words about our application. So it's ready to deploy Q-commerce solution. It's modular. So actually it can be customized easily for anybody, for any business, the colors, how it looks like and so on. It takes not too much time to do it, and it's already fully designed from terms of UX UI for Q-commerce and for e-commerce. Implementation starts from very small numbers. Usually it's, of course, high numbers. It's for a SaaS model, for instance. We can propose it in SaaS, or we can sell it. So we are very flexible with it, but let's show the application itself. So actually, we can have express planned delivery or self-carriage. So when you take from the store yourself, for any of them, you choose the time, and express is usually like during 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It depends on the business. So of course you can see the pictures. We can show 2 pictures. Usually for now we show 2 products in the row, but we are also thinking about showing more. We have sorting based on the price, for instance, and so on. We can have different filters. We can add more filters.
Yeah, you have many filters compared to the other applications, actually.
Yeah. Maybe I will go a bit back. Yeah, so actually important filter is promotion, because people would like to see it's started from the end. Okay, so trademark, it's clear, but not all the applications see them. The country of origin of the SKU, that's important for some countries especially. Then the price, and then promotion. So you can filter just discounted products, which is interesting for the clients, because sometimes they're in that every day what is now with the discount, and then they are starting to buy something else when they're interested in some discounted product. Of course, there could be many categories, there could be promotions, there could be discounted products, and so on. We can see how many days.
Specific timer even, which
because
we normally don't see.
Exactly, yeah. Why? Because it's if it's for today, it's 27 days in this case, but you can put 0 days, and for instance, 2 hours just left. So it's push people to buy it right now, or maybe you can do some promotions during the day. So if you buy during the daytime, when the load is smaller on the dark store, for instance, people are ordering more in the evening, so you can push them to buy during the day and have some income during this not rush hour, let's say. You can add favorites, so all your lists can be saved. So you can also copy from the previous order, or just create the favorite list of favorite products.
So you're able to add all SKUs in the favorites list direct to the cart, right? Like
right now you need to open each favorite and add it, but yes, we can add the button here like plus, that you can add each easily from here, or just put on the top that add all to the cart. Yes,
yeah,
no problem with that. So any categories, of course, could be here. We have 2 levels of categories, and we have, of course, some information about each product. Any information could be useful. Comments for picker, that's important, because sometimes people would like to mention something, for instance, especially if they're buying vegetable or maybe something else, what could be different. Yeah, so they could leave maybe some comment. And we have some details. So it could be different delivery addresses. You can add many addresses and easily choose between them. Different types of payments, different recipients. For instance, you can send a gift to your parents, or I don't know, to your girlfriend, for instance. Yes, and the recipient will be different from you, but he will get the order. And of course, the list of your orders and promotions and so on. So this is the settings. Actually, that's the main, let's say, the main things. I would like to mention again that it's ready, but it can be customized. Everything is very flexible in our application, and it's quick. It's really designed for quick commerce. So it both quick from technology point of view, and I mean backend, what we discussed before, and also for the customer, it's easy to search. He can see his order history. He can see many things just by one button. And once more to repeat, we use smart search, and we are testing this AI, which helps to communicate with the application like with a human.
Yeah, looks great. And I think like based on the customization, the pricing structure a little bit changes. Maybe a lot of customers might have that kind of questions where they can directly reach you, I suppose, for if they want like specific custom development for the application itself.
Of course, yeah, because we can sell it to the customer with the source code, with everything, and it will be cheaper than to develop it. And also we propose now to the retailers or to some not big companies, but who want to be omnichannel, to use our app as a SaaS. Yeah, so they will not develop anything for themselves, and the implementation, it could be quite cheap because we do just a simple design and add the categories and so on. And what is very important, of course, is that app is already integrated with our backend on Odoo. So when we implement the complex solution, we don't need any additional integrations. Everything is starting. We can integrate app with also other ERP systems. So we can propose it as a separate solution, but we recommend to use our backend, which is called GrassTech on Odoo. And as well, a similar application is working for the shopping malls when it is a marketplace, not for the Q-commerce, but as a marketplace when you can see everything what is available in the shopping mall in the application, and you can order it and it will be delivered to you, or you can go to the fitting room and try something, but you don't need to visit each store. You don't need to waste 2-3 hours in the mall. You can do everything online and then just spend 15 minutes trying if it fits you or not, and buy what you want, and the rest will be returned. So we are ready, of course, to discuss it in more details, to show everything in it's not a black box. Yeah, so we are ready to have a meeting, a personal meeting. And thanks for watching us today. If you're interested, let us know. This is my contacts. It's hanging a bit. Okay. It's closed. Not. Sorry, it's switched the link because some reason. I pressed the LinkedIn button. Sorry. So this is my contacts, and Fatih is also.
You can reach me on LinkedIn as well. I mean, if you write Fatih Yörük, you would be able to find my details there. Or you can reach through Gregory, of course.
We will share the contact. Okay, so thank you very much for today, for this expert talk, which we did. It took us a bit longer time than we planned, but hopefully it could be interesting for our colleagues and partners.
Yeah.
Okay, so
thank you very much for listening to us today, and hopefully in the upcoming weeks we will have other interesting topics to talk about in our expert talks with special guests.